Thank you for tuning in to the Life of KG podcast. We are all about helping you guys in the beauty industry. Whether you're starting out in this industry or been in the business for years, we want to motivate you, educate you, and support you to grow. Enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, welcome back to A Life of KG. I hope you're all okay. So today I'm really excited to have back on the show Ava from Ava Scarlet Beauty. If you haven't heard of this powerhouse, then where have you been? She was on episode 7 of The Life of KG, so when we first started in the beginning, and she is one of our top performing episodes. So if you haven't listened to that yet, go and listen to that first and then come and tune back into this, and you can have a nice little catch up. So I wanted to get Ava on the show again, just to kind of see where her direction has taken her over the last couple of years, what she's doing, what she's been up to, and just catch up with her because she is such a babe. So without further ado, here she is. Ava, welcome to the show again.
Thank you very much. It's an honour to be back. It's exciting.
Definitely. First of all, before we even start, massive congratulations on the best news of 2020.
What's that, me getting my new van or me producing another little bambino?
You producing another bubba.
Thank you very much.
How have you been feeling?
Yeah, do you know, I feel so blessed. I have really good pregnancies. Obviously, this is my third pregnancy. My first, I was 18. And oh my God, if you see photos of me, I was massive. And I think I just kept eating and eating and eating. But I think it was a mixture of that and being so young that I had puppy fat. So I was massive and I just assumed, this is what it's going to be like every pregnancy. And then when I was pregnant with Honey, I was at the gym. I looked great. I was so fit and healthy. And this time around, it's a boy. So I was thinking, typical. I bet I'll be like what I was with Ernie. And I've been absolutely fine. So I've had no sickness. Love it. I'm a good pregnant lady. So thank you.
I love that. Well, you look really, really well. And looking at you now, you'd never even know you were pregnant. You've got such a neat bump when you stand up. It's so cute.
Thanks, babe. Yeah, Honey's hilarious. Although it's a bit, I think she forgets that there's an actual baby now because she would just try and sit on top of me and stuff, and she'll want picking up all the time. And so it's different this time around, but absolutely loving it. So yeah.
Oh, very, very happy for you. Very. So welcome back to the show. Most of you should know who you are. If they don't, I don't know where they've been, living under a rock or something. But our regular listeners, they would have already know who you are because you was on episode 7, 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was wondering how long ago that was. So 2 years ago. That is crazy. How quick.
Yeah, I know. It's literally flown by. I actually remember doing it because we'd only just launched the podcast, and I remember I went to the office, couldn't do it in the office because it was too loud, so I sat in my car and done it.
Oh my God, brilliant.
Yeah, I remember. How funny. But for those that don't know who you are, please can you introduce yourself and say a bit about what you do?
Yeah, so first of all, just quick say, I'm also in the office, and I've just noticed someone's just started to do some banging work upstairs. God knows what they're doing. So if you do hear that, I apologise. Probably putting up a shelf or something. So I am Ava. I am 26 years old. I'm based in West Sussex, so right by the sea, literally where I live is a 10-minute walk from the beach, it feels like a really long time, a really long way actually, because before my flat was literally on the beach, which is brilliant. So so what else? I have Ava Scarlet Beauty, which is my first business, which I've had started in January 2015. I think I've literally done my, is that 6 years? I think it's 6 years, isn't it? Hold on.
Get my fingers out.
I am a mother, as I've just explained. But they're all the facts about me. But oh my God, Katie, I'll just be honest with you. When you messaged me and you said, write a bio, I had a bit of a meltdown, mate. I'm going to read it off my phone because I wrote some notes because I thought I've got to share this. I was going, do I share it or do I not? And I thought, no.
Have a down about your bio.
I'll explain why. So I've literally written it down. I think it's a mixture of pregnancy hormones and you obviously follow my stuff. I'm quite deep. I've had a lot of realizations in the past few years. Like my business and just everything has changed so much. So a simple question like that, it used to seem, basically when someone would ask me before, who are you? What is it you do? It would just flow so easy from like my mouth. Oh, so I'm Ava, I'm 26, this is what I do. But then when you wrote, I started typing, I thought, who the bloody hell am I? Am I just a mixture? What did I write down? I'll literally read it to you. I'll write it all down. Only a few years ago, I would never think twice about this question. I would go on to list my name, that I'm a mother, that I work, that I run my own business, and to tell the world who I am would flow easily from my lips. However, when asked over email for a bio of who I am, I found myself not knowing how to answer this question. So I started to think, well, who am I and how do I determine who I am? So am I Ava because that is the name that my parents chose me before I was even born? To say that I'm a working mum, does that define who I am? Do we combine all of our titles, roles and responsibilities and names and that's who we are? So honestly, I was writing it down, I was thinking, how do I answer this best? I was in my lounge, I ran downstairs to my other half studio downstairs, I went in, he took his headphones, what's up? I said, don't. I said, I think we're having a bit of a meltdown or it's like a spiritual breakthrough. I was like, who the bloody hell am I? Like, I'm just a human doing what everyone else, I'm just trying to live my life. Who am I? He's like, all right, chill out. But and I started to cry, honestly. It was such like
oh no, I made you cry.
Like I said, I think it's a mixture of pregnancy hormones and just like it might seem like a simple question to some people, but I thought I'd explain it so other people. I think some people might listen to this and might think, what the fuck's she going on about? But then some people might go, no, she's right. How do we determine who we are? Yeah. So I'm what all good people, normal people of the 21st century do, and I googled it. Who am I? How do I know who I am? And the answer that come up was an article that was titled, a better question to ask yourself isn't who am I, but how would I like to experience my life? I know that you'd like that. So my answer to that is I want to live as fully as I can. So what does that look like to me? So living fully to me is constantly learning, constantly growing and constantly improving. So because that's how I want to live my life, I'm never the same person. So who I am today is completely different to who I was when you last interviewed me compared to who I was last week. I will be completely different next week. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
So, which inevitably, changes me and shapes me as a person. So yeah, just thought I'd share that with you.
I absolutely love that, but it is true, and I think it doesn't matter where we are in life, what we do. I think we always get that, can you send the bio over, and you do always get a bit stuck. And I think even if it's a company bio, which I get asked for quite a lot, I'm stuck. I'm like, well, I've been in the company for 12 years. I should kind of know what it is, but you still get stuck. I end up getting someone else to write it for me because I can't do it. So it's so it's actually a very, very valid point. I can resonate.
Oh, right, yeah. And like I said, I know it's quite a deep thing, but I thought I might as well share it because, well, just to go, yeah, I'm Ava, I'm 26, I live in West Sussex. Like, all right, what else do I do then? Who else? What else defines me? So yeah, it was a real deep question, and yeah, I had a bit of a moment, mate. I did.
I'm sorry. Oh dear. Well, I want to go into like the last few years or 2 years, but before we go into that part of it, last year obviously was a game changer for everyone. We've obviously gone through a pandemic, which none of us have gone through in our life. COVID's hit, we've done a major lockdown, then another one, and now we're in a bloody another one. How have you dealt with that? How have you dealt with it personally? Has it changed anything personally and business? How did you deal with it?
Well, mate, I definitely didn't see this shit coming. Sure. Well, when it first, so what was it like last? It was March, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I moved house in the February, and then obviously, like yourself, had work booked in for months. So then when the news hit, and I think we literally had like, I remember hearing of coronavirus, and there was like loads of memes and stuff online, and I remember just thinking, oh, it's like, I didn't even consider like it could have the effect that it has had on us. I just thought it was like this thing that was just going around in other countries, and it wasn't as serious as everyone was making out and stuff. Pretty naive. So yeah, so when like the government announced it, Boris, and it was like getting serious, and there was like, you heard of schools closing and stuff. Obviously I've got kids in school, and I was just thinking like, you're so used to just doing your daily thing. Like for the past few years, it has been nursery, work, do this, do that. So I've had such a good structure and routine. Like I know I'm doing every single day. I know my set days off. So yeah, it obviously, like everyone, it really threw me at the start. But I thought, right, I mean, I look at things from a broader perspective. I try not to take things personally, and I try not to get too worried about things, because at the end of the day, I've had awful experiences happen and I've overcome them. So I know that this was just one of those things, you know, business had to close, but it's okay because I'll overcome it somehow. And as long as I'm healthy, my kids are all right, nothing else matters. So having that as my like go-to place when I feel like things are getting tough, I feel like that, I think everyone's got to have a go-to place. I think as long as you know you're okay, you're healthy, doesn't matter what else happens. If you lose your house, it'll be all right, because we live in a country where there's a lot of help, and I have loved ones who would never see me homeless, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, so first of all, I knew that I wasn't going to panic, and I knew that my business, obviously, it's not like I do open heart surgery or brain surgery, or I mean, I teach beauty courses, so if that has to go on hold for a while, no one's going to die. We're going to be all right. So I obviously closed the business temporarily. I remember just thinking, I know there's going to be so many women out there in our industry who are going to be panicking, and I know I've got quite a big following who look to me for positivity and motivation and for, you know, a different perspective. So my first thought wasn't like, oh, this is what courses we're going to offer, we're going to do online things. I was like, right, I need to support my followers right now. So I remember I put out a post, a long post, and I had such good feedback about it. I can't think word for word what it was, but it's basically just saying how you know, use this time wisely. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Yes, we're going to lose money and stuff. Yes, you might have to go on benefits, but I tell you what, it's quite a nice feeling knowing that there's other people in the same situation as well. I think you take some comfort from that as well. So yeah, so I obviously closed the business. I was going to do loads of things online. Obviously, I went in with, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then I was just thinking, well, shit me, I've got to do homeschooling. I've got a toddler home at the time. Obviously, we've got, well, I've got 2 children, and then my other half's got 2 children. We share, they're with us half the time. So, you know, for half the week, we've got 4 kids with us, which are all in school and nursery, and it's full on. So I won't put pressure on myself. If it means I lose out on some money, that's how it is. So so I made a decision, not worry about work, support my following, reach out, you know, message all of those and support them. And do you know what, Katie? It was the best bloody thing for me. I fucking loved it. Obviously the weather was great, wasn't it? It's like as soon as day 1 lockdown happened, the weather was just mental. I saw online people like, oh, the government have planned this. Look, day 1 of lockdown, the weather's nice. What? Chill out. Like, I don't think that can sort the weather. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, we were doing like a week on, week off with the other parents. So our kids would be with us for 1 week and then without us for 1 week. So I realised how fortunate we are for that. So for a few months we had that, and spent loads of time outdoors. We got a van, which we because we need all those seats for all them bloody kids, mate. It's like I've got like a tiny car, not knowing how to park it. So this massive 9-seater van. Mate, I'm a fucking pro at parking now. I don't need any sensors. And we would literally take all of the seats out the back, and I'd never really done camping or like traveling around or anything. And we like put our mattress in the back, got our like cooker, and we've got this app actually. It's brilliant. I can't think of what it's called, but I think we pay like £5 for the year for it. It shows you where you can park for free in really beautiful spots. So like we drove around Cornwall, Devon, all of our local places, and like we slept next to like a rainforest, a waterfall like in our van, and I read loads, and I'd never had that space to just learn and exist and not be like, right, I've got to be at nursery at this time, I've got to be at work at this time. And yeah, it was lush. Like I cooked more. We've what else did we do? Yes, we were travelling those. I wrote down a little few lists of actually what else we done. Moved house, relationships as well. My relationships changed because a situation like that, something so severe, like obviously you realise who is important in your life, and having that spare time to think about things and think, right, it forces you to think, am I actually happy with my business? Am I happy with my relationship? So I know obviously being locked in with someone, there's a lot of pressure, you know what I mean? You might realise you don't actually like your other half. There's a lot of people who have broken up. There's a lot of people who have gained new relationships. I mean, I've never spoke to my friends so much in that first lockdown. I was using that house party app as well. Like I've never, literally like every day speak to all my mates and all my family, which was just brilliant. Like, and it made me think, gosh, like how little I've actually spoke to them and actually spent time with my family in the past few years. Like, we done loads of puzzles, and mate, I've done a 1,000 piece puzzle. I couldn't even do like a 20 piece puzzle a few years ago. Mate,
I give up on the whole puzzle thing. I got like, there was like a 1,000 piece puzzle. I got to 10 bits. I give up.
Do you know, that's the thing. It's that it's so, yeah, but you know, from businesses, growing a business from scratch and then receiving an award for how, you know, for being an entrepreneur and helping people and employing people, and that feeling of like success. You can get it from simple things like literally finishing that puzzle. We had all the kids work on it. Honey wasn't, mate. She was on bloody kids YouTube. I thought, I ain't having her touching it, losing the pieces. But we worked together as a team, and yeah, my relationships with my kids grew better, and with my other half grew better, and just a few people in my family who there's been issues with throughout my whole life, which we've overcome, and I've had realizations. I'm not going into too much detail, but had I not have had that time away from that routine and strict structure, I wouldn't have had it. So for me, yes, business, I've not earned as much money. I've cut back loads on spending as well, which I bought a book along with me, actually. Someone I found, Claire Seal, she's called My Frugal Year. Ooh. On Instagram. Yeah, I brought it along to say. She's made me realise loads about money. So this woman, basically, she was in debt, and she's still in debt. And that's another thing. Saying what is it? She says she has debt. She's not in debt, because when you say you're in debt, that makes you feel like it's part of you. So she says she has debt. Anyway, so she's had her Instagram account for like a year, and my friend shared it, and she has shared her story of how she's getting out of debt, and really insightful, helpful little tips to do to cut back on spending and stuff, and how she's become so much more happy and grateful since having less and spending less as well. And oh my god, it's just incredible. Her Instagram has blown up. She's obviously released a book, and she's doing incredible. So I haven't got debt, luckily, but reading this book, it's made me think twice about money. So before, I would like work loads, earn good money, and then I would be like, right, it's a day off now, I've got to go shopping. So I'd like bung the kids in the car, we'd go, you know what I mean, to shopping centre, and I'd just buy like a load of crap, which I don't need, to like make me happier, and thinking that that's what they need as well. Like, oh my god, Honey needs the latest leopard print on my dress from H&M, and like spending like 100 quid in my favourite shop, Tiger, when that doesn't actually bring me happiness. So it's what I've learned is tackling money issues as well. So the less I have, the less money I spend, I appreciate my things more. So my house looks completely different to what it did at the start of last year. I have a lot less, but everything I have in my house, we use it, and we love it. So that's one of the books that I've read, which is brilliant. But yeah, sorry, I've gone right off topic. I can't remember what the bloody question was now, mate. What?
Love it. Nor can I, but I'm just so engrossed in your conversation. But you've really taken COVID and turned it into a positive and just realised what's around you in life. And it is the simple things that make us happy, isn't it? And I think in our day to day, we just get consumed with life, routine, money, business, that we kind of forget what actually really matters.
Absolutely, mate. We're not designed as humans. We're not designed to work in, work 9 till 5, Monday to Friday, have strict routines and strict structure like that. We've got to have play. We've got to have fun. We've got to be spontaneous. We've got to be present. We've got to spend time by ourselves as well. And I some people might listen to this and might think, oh, that's easy for you to say, but mate, I've worked those 5 days a week. I get it. I get some people, they're having to do that. But yeah, during the lockdown as well, we my other half, he's got a friend who owns a campsite. My other half, he's got a like gardening maintenance business and stuff, and he contacted him. And my boyfriend contacted him and said, oh, we would love to stay at your campsite. Can we do it during lockdown, secret? He said, really sorry, mate, we can't, all this, gutted. Anyway, come back a few days later, it's all about putting it out there, Kate, innit? And he said, oh, do you know what? We actually need our campsite all trimmed. So if you could do that, we'd be happy to exchange some camping for that. And it's in Hastings. And so we were like, yes, mate. So it was on our kid-free week. So I've never used a strimmer before. Have you ever used a strimmer, Katie?
Nor have I. I had to start it.
Oh my God, mate. I'll tell you what I did. I'm a bit of a pro now. So we went to this campsite. We had our tent in the back and our camping stuff and a strimmer each, hard hats. And it was when the weather was lush. And we strimmed this campsite and it was so much fun, just working together as a team. Obviously this is his job, but he found it fun because he was teaching me and I was learning how to create a meandering pathway with my strimmer, completely different to doing bloody eyelashes. And we stayed in the forest for we had a whole campsite in a forest for I think it was I think overall we slept there about over the course of 4 months, probably 2 weeks in total.
Really?
When the hell do you get that opportunity in life? And that was just I thought, if this, I was learning loads about myself, and just having that time in the forest and in nature and being surrounded by the trees and stuff, it just gave me so much clarity. And that probably sounds a bit mental and a bit like I'm some hippie woman, but it gave me so much. I thought, oh my God, I know that I am not designed. It made more sense, and I had clarity over the fact that I'm not meant to be working 5 days a week. I'm not meant to be putting this much stress on myself. I'm not meant to be coming home at 6 o'clock, quickly whacking a sandwich down my neck, quickly putting the kids to bed. That's not sustainable, and I don't want that. So it gave me loads, and so being outdoor loads, that was brilliant. And we got bikes as well, so doing loads of bike rides. That's good. And swimming in the sea, mate. I'd never really swum in the British Sea. I was like, I ain't going in there. It's like minging, isn't it? A seaweed. It's not like going to Spain or something.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I was in the sea all the time, and it was so much fun. And as I was in it, I was thinking, why the hell have I never done this before? It's literally on my doorstep. I walk along the beach. Why have I never got in the sea? There's people out there who wish that they could live in the sea. So it's little things like that, mate. The little things which you appreciate, which are so easily overlooked, and the feeling I got from doing those things, I couldn't have got from buying new shoes, new handbags, that sort of stuff.
Do you think that you'll carry on this when the hustle and bustle that starts of life again? Or do you think it's going to be easy to get trapped back into what we were?
Well, that's the thing. I said to myself during enjoying all that time, I said to my other half, I said, it's so easy for people to, because there'll be loads of people also feeling the same and having realizations going, oh my God, this is great, spending time with my family, I love it. I'm going to make sure that when I go back to work, I'm going to drop my hours and I'm going to do this and do that. But it's so easy to, the first week of going, for an average person doing the average job, the first week they go back with these intentions, and then 2 weeks into it, when they've got all these, you know, jobs, deadlines they got to meet, they've forgotten about it. So I made it my mission. So yeah, I've cut back certain things of my business. I knew that, right, when I do go back to work, I changed my courses around. So I was teaching like group courses, and I kept my price lower, but it meant I needed more students for a day. And like that gave me so much of a headache trying to sort out models and too much going and, you know, to and fro. And because my courses were a little bit cheaper, I was attracting students who, you know, their other half booked them on a course just to see if they like eyelashes. I knew that, right, when I go back, if I'm to spend my precious time, because that's, you know, the most valuable currency we have, I want to make sure that it is not just because someone's trying out eyelashes. I know that if I'm going to be in here, away from my children, away from my family, working, I want to make a difference. So I decided to, when I could go back, and obviously we had a few months when we could go back, I changed my courses to one-on-one exclusive courses. So I put the price right up, which in our industry, I'm sure you probably saw, a lot of people were undercutting everyone and charging like next to nothing. I saw lash courses for like 40 quid online. And someone posted this on Instagram the other day saying how it is cheaper to get qualified in eyelashes than to actually pay to have your lashes done. Go figure that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went the opposite. I was like, no, I'm putting my prices right up. And so basically with my one-on-one exclusive courses, instead of just teaching 4 students during the day, and because I would have students and I love my students, and I always have great experiences, but there'd be like one student in particular who I'd want to be able to give more of myself to and talk to her more. I could relate to her more, or knew that she was more passionate, but I couldn't because I have to treat everyone the same. So doing my one-on-one exclusive, it gives them all of my attention, and I would be able to, if it's let's say someone new into the industry who's never had a business before, I don't just teach them the skill, I teach them how to actually start a business, how to register on the government website, how to set up their Instagram pages, how to pay the taxes, how to, all the little things that you don't think of. Or you do a course in a beauty subject or whatever, and then you go away and you think, oh shit, I wish I'd learned that or that or that. So I combined all of that into my one-on-one exclusive courses. And it meant going from needing like 50 students a month, I needed like 5 students a month, which is brilliant. So but I definitely will carry on. We next weekend actually we're going out in our van, so we make it our mission to get out, because we've got a beautiful home and it's so easy just to use our kids' free weekends to stay at home, but getting out in the outdoors, and yeah, we do. So I'm going to make the most of it.
Oh, I love that. Well, enough of COVID. Obviously, like I said, it was 2 years ago since we speak a lot, but last come on the show and kind of opened up about what you do and everything. And I wanted to kind of, it's really important for business owners to listen, to know that whatever their goals and their plans are as a business owner can change. And things are changing all the time, regardless of COVID. Like, we set plans and goals and they change along the way. 2 years ago, you would have had a goal and something that you wanted to achieve. Has that vision changed, or are they the same? Have you gone in a completely different direction?
I mean, mate, if we've all learned anything in the past year, it is that we need to adapt. And luckily as humans, we're bloody brilliant at adapting. So 2 years ago, I'm trying to think if I had my salon then. I don't think I did. I remember when we recorded it, actually, I had Honey there. So we were trying to talk, and I've got her bloody in the background. Going here today. She talks much more now, don't I? Oh my gosh, yeah, I had my goals back then. My goal back then, I think it was to have my salon. So I did have a premises. So I'd moved from my spare room in my flat working into a premises, and I started doing my teaching. I then quickly outgrew that and got a salon, which was like a big decision, because like my monthly rolling contract for my first premises was like, well, worst comes to worst, I'll just like get rid of it and be out the next month. But this was like a 12 months lease, and it was like 1,500 quid a month, and I was going to hire a member of staff and stuff. So yeah, I went and done that. I was like this woman on a mission, Katie, as you know. I was like, this is what I'm going to achieve. So I had earning honey. I was working all the time. I was lashing loads, doing brows loads, teaching loads. I then set up my own training academy because I wanted to be able to, because I was working for another training school, but I wanted to teach students my way and choose what goes in my manuals and stuff. So I achieved that, which was brilliant. And yeah, it was great for a while. So I had my salon opening party, I had staff, I ended up employing an admin, a part-timer and a full-timer. And it was full on for ages. And I went in the local newspaper for like my business achievements, and because we support a charity called Beauty Banks, which are brilliant, by the way. Any of you salon owners, if you're listening right now and you want to do your bit for charity, Beauty Banks is basically like a food bank, but for beauty essentials. So unused toiletries like toothbrushes, or even nappies, makeup, unused shower gel, all of that sort of stuff. So basically I would be a drop spot for it. So I'd have a box in my salon, made it all look fancy, fairy lights, all that crap. And so yeah, we would encourage our students and our clients to bring things along, and then when it got full I would message the beauty banks and I'd say where needs it, and they would tell me what charities. And we done I've hosted quite a few events, and one of the events that I hosted was the afternoon tea, which is like, I just winged it. I just literally thought of it at home. I was like, I like scones, I like cake, I like tea, I like chatting. Fuck it, let's do an afternoon tea event. And it sold out so quick, 30 tickets. It was bloody brilliant. And my food shopping bill at M&S was like, I probably didn't even earn any money for it because I just spent everything on the food. Krispy Kreme donuts a lot. And yeah, we encouraged everyone to bring along donations. And we basically brought along, we had enough baby essentials to provide. There was a mum in the local area in Chichester, the charity told me about it, and she was due her baby and she had nothing because she had no money, no anything. She was living in like a temporary housing place. And we supplied her with like 6 months worth of stuff. So that was such like a huge thing.
Shivers.
Oh, it's brilliant. So yeah, Beauty Banks, if you don't know what it is, check it out and you can contact them, and they're really, really friendly, and it's non-profit, and yeah, it's just doing your bit really. So we were doing that, we were working loads, and then it got to about, so we're 2021 now. So I had the salon for about a year, and then it got to a point, I think it was like the August time, where it was school holidays. I had loads of courses booked in, and I just like burnt myself out. I've never been so thin in all my life. I took my mate on a holiday, and I kept fainting. Like my holiday pictures were banging because like, mate, I was pretty much malnourished, but I'll tell you what, I look well good. I wasn't healthy though, but I kept passing out, and I was like, I don't know what it is, and like I was just so, and I was so spotty. I've never been so spotty in all my life, and I just knew, right, this is not good. Like, what's wrong with me? But mate, I was so focused on achieving all of these business goals, and I was so busy and looking after the baby and looking after Ernie, and like being 23 at a time, like. Yeah, mate, I was rubbish at cooking as well. So I'd literally have like a bag of crisps for my dinner, and that's all I'd eat all day. So I was really unhealthy, and it got to a point where it was summer holidays, and I just thought, something's got to give. And I switched my phone off, and I remember the night, I think I've spoken about on my other podcast, and I literally switched off my phone, got a piece of paper, I was like, right, what do I want to achieve by the time I'm 30? So I wrote down all these things, and it didn't marry up to what I had. So I thought, well, if that's where I want to be, why am I doing all of this right now? Like, I don't need to be doing, if I don't want a salon by the time I'm 30, why have I got one now? I need to start making plans to get rid of it. Why have I got a salon? So I started to have all these realizations. I was like, right, my plan now is to downsize. It's to strip back. And having this realization come with so much relief. Oh my gosh, like, because I was so busy, mate. Like, I felt like a bad mum, like mum guilt. Like, literally, I would get home and it would be dark. Like, I'd quickly bash the kids to some dinner, and sometimes I wouldn't even cook them dinner all week because they would have dinner at like nursery and after school club. So I'd think, oh my god, I'm not even like feeding my kids, and I want to be able to do that. So yeah, I made some changes, decided to, my staff moved on. I got rid of the salon, I started selling things. But with that come a lot of, oh shit, what are people going to think? Like, I've got in the paper because I've achieved all of this. People like message me every day. You'll know, Kate, people message me and they go, oh my God, you're so inspiring. So what are these people going to think when I tell them that I don't want all this anymore? And, but at the end of the day, I would respect somebody more if they said, right, I had a goal, I achieved that goal. And then when I achieved it, I thought, do you know what? Do I really want this anymore? Nah. And then they changed it. I would respect that more than someone who, I have this goal, and I see it all the time in my mentoring. I have this goal, I've achieved it. I've got all these things around me. I've got this car, I've got this house, I've got all these businesses. But actually, I'm really unhappy and I don't spend any time with my family. And do you know what? None of this brings me any joy anymore. But I'm too scared to change direction. I don't know how to, so I'm just going to stay put.
And it's normally to do with worrying about other people and what they think, isn't it?
Absolutely. So, just to explain, I did actually have a mentoring student who come to me when I had my salon, and okay, she was so glad. Like, I thought, Jesus Christ, I've just got a Primark top on. Like, she's there, head to toe, glamorous, branded. And then she had a Lush Range Rover, and she had 2 salons. And anyway, so she come to me for mentoring. And normally with mentoring, people know what they want when they come. So they come, they go, right, oh, I know what they want before because they've told me, like, I want to improve my lashes, or I want you to help me with the booking system. But she came and she said, I'm not really after anything. I've just got some spare money, so I just thought I'd book the course and see what you could teach me. All right. That's always a little bit tricky, isn't it? So I started chatting to her, and because I want to understand her and be able to support her and coach her the best that I can. Anyway, we had this open conversation, and I feel like one of my skills is to communicate with people and listen, and to provide that open space without them fearing rejection or judgment and things. And we were chatting, and anyway, she ended up crying. And it's funny because quite a lot of time in mentoring, people cry with me, and I'm thinking, oh, is this bad? But it's not, which is why I'm going to go into university, which I'll speak about later. And she started crying, saying, so she's got these 2 salons, she's got everything, she's achieved all this stuff. And I said, oh, this is amazing, like, good on you, like, it's incredible. So when do you get to spend time with your kids? Well, Sunday's my day off. Okay, cool, what do you do on Sunday? Well, for most of the morning, I do my accounts, and then I do my husband's accounts, and then I do some admin, and then, like, we might watch a film. So I'm thinking, fucking hell, like, you literally don't have a day off. Like, your day off, what you think is your day off, you're working. So basically got to the bottom of it. She wasn't happy, but she'd achieved all the stuff, and I think it all stems from people. She had low expectations of herself. People used to doubt her. So then she was like, no, fuck it, I'm going to do all these things. So she achieved it all, and then was like, oh shit, I've proved my point now, but I'm not happy with any of it. And she didn't know how to change. So we put in some, we got to the bottom of it. She realised that she was only staying put because she didn't know where to pivot, and she was worried about what other people may think of her. So once we, I say, like, I think it was the summertime, and I said, I saw her quote, and I said to her, you only get about 15 summers with your child, which
is so true.
Which is mental, isn't it? Like, that's bearing in mind if your kid actually wants to hang out with you when they're 15 holidays. And that, when I saw that quote, it put everything into perspective for me. I think that was around the time where I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm downsizing, blah, blah, blah. So I said that to her, and just putting things into perspective and making her realise that it's a good thing, and you should pivot in business, and it's good for business, because if you stay put in this place where you're unhappy, that's when things start to go downhill. It could, negatively impact your business. So we put in boundaries, we put in, she got an accountant. So my accountant, Leanne, Tilly's accountant, so she's brilliant, follow her. She got her, so she didn't have to do the accounts anymore. She decided to get rid of one salon and focus on just the one salon. So she got rid of the second one, and had just one. she had all of her staff self-employed, which she found that really difficult as well, because people were picking and choosing their hours, and financially it wasn't really benefiting her. So she changed them over onto a employed contract, so that gave her more money. The girls actually preferred it because obviously they didn't earn as much, but they preferred it because there wasn't as much competition. It felt more structured. They had, you know, the benefits of being employed, pension, maternity pay, all these things. And she stepped out of her business, which is, I know something that you teach salon owners, is to not work in your business, to work
on your business.
On your business. So we come to all these realizations, and she cut her load down. She's happier. And so that's just one example of someone who had the same realization as me, like, I'm not happy. And I've done a post about that on Instagram, and it blew up, and everyone was like, oh my God, this is brilliant. And during lockdown, people were like, I've realized I don't want a salon. I realized it was a mistake getting a second salon. So with my business, back to the question that you asked me originally, what's changed since then? So my goal was to get the salon and to have my own training academy and to employ staff. I'd done that. Then I realized I didn't want it anymore. So I made a plan to strip back and focus on what I did enjoy, which was communicating with people, teaching people, not doing the lashes anymore. I'd done it for years, back to back. My bloody back was hurting, my hands are sore, and I don't want to do it anymore. So I've done my bit, and so I cut back, got a smaller premises, cut my hours down, and made everything more simple and enjoyable for me. And I don't earn as much as I did. However, it's freed me up more time. And we're going to talk about wealth. My health has improved. My relationships have improved. And and I think it's good to, if you're going into business and you've got these goals, it's good to have goals because you know what you're going to work towards. And I call it reverse engineering. So I set these goals. This is what I'm going to do. When I was in my flat, I want a training school. How do I get there? Well, first of all, I'd need a premises. Okay, if I get a premises, how much extra money am I going to need to earn a month? I'm going to need to earn, let's say, £1,000. How am I going to earn that extra £1,000? Well, if I employ a member of staff, I've already got a lot of clients. So the clients that I'm turning away, this member of staff could actually lash them, which would give me that extra £1,000. So with my reverse engineering that I do is I set my goal, then I put in little steps on how to get there. And then it seems so achievable, and I just focus on these small little things, and then before you know it, you've got to your big goal. And there's that quote, isn't there? You'll know it, and it's we overestimate what we can do in a day, but we underestimate what we can do in a year. And I think it's so true. And it's, people don't want to put the work in. People don't want to sit down and actually write out a plan of, right, how do I get there? And with the salon, if you're sitting at home right now or listening to this podcast or in your car or whatever, and you're thinking, oh my God, I'd love what Katie has. Katie's got a franchise. She's got salons. Ava's had a salon. Ava's got a training school. How the bloody hell do I do that? You can pay people to learn how they got to where they were. You offer mentorship to teach people how to get to that place. So it's an investment. But I think people are too afraid to make that investment. Or if you really want something, then you're going to have to take the time to sit down and write down a plan on how to make it work. So my 2 years ago completely changed, but I think this path was meant all along. I was meant to have the salon, to learn everything about a salon, so then I could continue to mentor people. How was I going to mentor people on having a salon if I'd never had a salon?
Yeah. Exactly. You need to have that experience, don't you?
Yeah.
To know that you had that pivoting point as well, and that you don't, I think a lot of people in this industry as well, and I think it's a real shame that we look at everyone else and think that's what we have to do. And if that's what everyone else has done, that's what my goal has to be.
Yeah.
We have to become lash artists or beauty therapists or hairdressers or whatever that is, and then when we're really good, we then have to become a trainer, and then when we're really good at training, we then need to product range, and then go on and so on and so on. Or if our salon's really successful, I then definitely need a second salon. There's not the way it has to go. You have to go with what makes you happy and what follows your heart. Like for me, if anyone says what makes you happy, mine's freedom. Forget the money, forget everything. I want freedom. If that means I have to work 2 days a week and cut my hours and not bring as much money in, then fine, fair enough. I would prefer to be at home, like have my chill time, be with my daughter, than be working all hours God sends and not have that time. And I think that's, you get like that when you've been stripped from that time. Like, I have been there where I've worked every single hour. I have been there where I'm exhausted and can't even pick myself up, and, you know, having a breakdown because I'm so tired. And when you get to that point, that's when you're like, this isn't what I want, or I need to make changes, or you find out what actually is really important.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I'll always remember a time in my life where I hit the biggest goal I ever wanted to hit in my career. And I got home, my daughter, some people would already know this story, and my daughter was with my mum and dad. I got home from working really late and just hit this massive milestone of my life and my career. And I stood there, I was exhausted, I felt numb. I thought I was having a stroke because I was so, I felt so bad. I thought, why am I doing this? What is the point of this? I've come home to an empty house. I'm really unhappy, even though I've just conquered the biggest goal ever. And I feel like I'm actually having a stroke right now. Like,
yes.
It's sometimes you really have to think, what is it that you actually really, really, really want? But you have to go through all these moments to then be able to reach that point.
What was your goal, if you don't mind me asking?
Franchising.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always my goal. I've done it. I teach other people how to franchise. It's a great thing, but for me, it just made me poorly. The amount of work and everything that's involved, and when the amount of work to get up to that point to sell that first franchise, and then you're like, okay, I've done it. Now what?
Yeah.
Now
climax, isn't it, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're racing for another goal, and then you get it, and you're like, now what? I wanted a second franchise. I got it. Now what? So you really got to put things into perspective.
But like you say, you don't know until you've been stripped of that time. I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't be where I am now had I have not worked all those hours, been collapsing on holiday because I'm bloody malnourished, eating my packet of quavers for dinner, not spending any time with my kids. So my message to someone who's listening to this and finds themselves really, really stressed, and you're thinking, I don't want to do this anymore, trust that gut. Trust that little instinct that's telling you, I think enough is enough now. Because you might have done all of that work to get you to this place where you can then go, I don't want to do it anymore. However, along that journey, I've learned all of these skills. You could set up a business of just mentoring from home, 3 hours a week if you really wanted, teaching what you've learned in those 5 years of ridiculous working. You hear it all the time, like me, all of my journey of how many hours I've put into lashing and courses to learn how to better perfect my eyelashes and eyebrows, and running the salon. All of that has so paid off, but you've got to know when to stop, and you've got to self-reflect. You've got to have that time off to go, am I happy with what I've got? And I think all of the COVID stuff and people being forced to stay at home with their families, forced to not work, it's given people that chance to stop, pause, take a deep breath, and think, is this really what I want?
Yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, and as well, like you say, that wanting more constantly, that's the society we live in nowadays, which is why, was it consumerism and all that sort of stuff? I think that's the right word to use. But like with phones, right, latest iPhone comes out, oh my God, I've wanted this for the past year. Then 6 months later, another one comes out, oh, I've got to have that, I've got to have that, got to have that. Which is why this book, The Real Life Money, and minimalism programs, I can't think of the top of my head what other stuff I've watched, but it teaches you about all of these tactics that companies use to keep you wanting the latest thing. They make you feel like you're missing out and you're not the same as everyone else if you don't have it. So, oh my God, I've not got that. I mean, I've never really been into like fashion. I've pretty much had the same dress sense since I was like a teenager. Like I have the same, I have the same jumper I bought from Topshop, right? It was in a sale for 10 quid. I've had that since I was in college, which was bloody years ago, but I love it. So I've never felt the need to buy the latest things with clothes. However, I know that people do, oh my God, I can't wear these trainers anymore because they're not the latest ones. I can't have that because it's not the latest one. I can't have that car because it's not the latest one. And you just think, like, stop. There's people who are paid to make you feel like that. There's people, there's like psychologists, people who understand the human brain, who are paid ridiculous amounts of money to work for Facebook and Instagram to keep you hooked on the app. There's a guy called Neil, I think his name is. But anyway, he's got a book called Indistractable, and that's a book that I read, and that's brilliant. And it teaches you about that sort of stuff, and how, I think it was Steve Jobs, his kids weren't allowed to use the products that he created because he understood the work that went into keeping you hooked.
Really?
So like games like Angry Birds and that bloody, what's that one that was on Facebook? Farm Animals or whatever.
Yeah.
But they keep you hooked, and you'll find yourself, and those of you who aren't aware of this, you'll be sitting there watching TV, and then all of a sudden you'll feel the urge to just tap your phone screen. Have I got any notifications? I am still trying to unlearn. I'm aware that is what these apps are designed to do. I'm aware of that, but I still find myself going on to check it. So I force myself sometimes to I just delete the app for like a few days to completely come off it. And another thing as well, so even if I didn't look at my phone, I would know exactly where the Facebook app is, just to click on it, which I'm sure most of you will as well. Yeah. I put it right on my back screen, so like a few screens down, and it's such a small thing, but it's helped me so much with being more productive and less fucking pointless scrolling all day long. But yeah, so that book's called Indistractable. That's really, really interesting.
I love a good book.
Yeah.
All about reading. I mean, for a lot of people are like, oh no, I don't like reading. If you don't like reading, get the audio. Like you learn so much knowledge from just reading a good book.
Yeah. I'm reading bought that one along as well. Daring Greatly, How the Courage to be Vulnerable Transforms the Way We Live, Learn, Parent and Lead. It's by Brene Brown. Literally, mate, I want to be Brene Brown when I'm older. I love her so much. She was she went into, she's like this Texas woman. Do you know who Brene Brown is?
No.
Oh, mate, she'd done a TED talk on vulnerability, right? And she's this woman from Texas who, oh my God, she's just like oozes love and feminine warmth and feminine energy. And she's just, I don't have anyone really in my life of her age. I've never really felt that way towards a woman before. That I've never looked at a woman and felt inspired by them. I've never had that role model to me. So I've never had a woman in my life I think I want to be like her when I'm older. Mm-hmm. So when I come across Brene Brown, it was like, oh my God, why do I feel like I'm getting emotional? What's wrong with me? My pregnancy hormones, maybe.
Well, blame it on that.
Yeah, like I was just like, oh my God, this woman, I literally love her. She's so down to earth. When she talks, she has got so much knowledge and she's so down to earth, and she's just so, basically she studied social work. I think she's like in her early 30s, so she started quite late, and she has researched shame, vulnerability, not topics that you typically think of, and yeah, she studies them. And basically vulnerability, this book, it basically teaches you about being vulnerable, and how being vulnerable isn't a weakness, and being vulnerable is how you live your life fully. So she basically goes into businesses and teaches people what you need to be. You want more connection and creativity in your workplace, you need to be more vulnerable. So the amount of people who, let's say, will be creative in I don't know, an example, can't think of one right now, but an example of when I've been vulnerable, and I didn't realise this until I read this book, is when I first met Tony. Mm-hmm. I was I'm an independent woman, mate. I don't need no man, right? So yeah. I wouldn't let someone get too close. Like if he rugs me off, see you later, mate, don't matter, I've already got myself, I've already got my house, don't matter, I don't need you. So I would, even though I was in a relationship, there was still this like barrier of me not wanting to, now I know, be vulnerable. I didn't want to be hurt again. So I had this huge barrier up. But to fully experience that relationship, fully be with someone, and to feel that love and to be committed to someone, I had to put that guard down and be vulnerable. So if you're in a relationship, it's vulnerable. So I literally remember I was sat, it was before I got in the shower or whatever it was, before I put the kids to bed. I was sat in my room, put my phone on charge, and I remember sitting by the side of my bed You know, when you get comfy and you think, I can't get up now, so I just sat there afraid. And I was like, I really want to be with this person, but I know that I've got this guard up. Like if I would have this guard up, and I know I'm going to have to let go and be open, put my guard down, and basically be willing to be vulnerable, be willing to get hurt, but it's worth getting hurt because I want to be with this person. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So and it's being vulnerable with that situation and letting that guard down has enabled us to have this incredible relationship, which has taught me so much and makes me appreciate so much. But this book about vulnerability, oh my god, mate, I'm so emotional right now.
I love that, but that's good.
Yeah,
I'd pass you a tissue if I could.
Vulnerability. I think more people need to learn about it, basically, and that's the book that I'm reading in a minute. But Brene Brown, she's got a talk on YouTube. Literally, just type in Brene Brown, Power of Vulnerability, and it's hilarious. Like, this woman, she was like played small, so she never wanted to be famous or anything like this. And Ted, the talk show, come to Texas. And asked her to talk, so she was like, "Oh, that's fine. It would just be like an audience, like 500 people, and they'll just record it or whatever."
Yeah.
And, anyway, it's got like the most views. It's like millions of views on YouTube. So she talks about being vulnerable, and she's like, it took her to be vulnerable to go up on stage, and then like the battles that she's had from being famous and people's opinions of her and criticism and all this stuff that's been thrown at her that she's had to overcome. So Brene Brown, she's a huge influence to me, who inspires me, and reading all of these books and learning about myself and having these talks with people during my mentoring sessions has made me realise my passion is for wanting to make a positive impact on the world. It's wanting to help people live more fully, understand themselves, understand others, become more compassionate, understanding, and more vulnerable. And that's why I've decided to apply for uni. I applied for it last year and I got in for the September just gone, but I thought it's too soon, I ain't doing it. So I applied for this September coming, and and that's for psychology and counselling. So that's the route that I'm going to take next, which is
amazing. And I think you're going to be so good at it. Like, can I sign up for a counselling session?
Absolutely, mate. But it's even like that's a huge thing. Like, I never thought going back into education, mate. Like, I did not like school or college because I think I just wanted to grow up really, really quick, and I wanted to earn my own money, and I didn't really know what I wanted. So like now, it makes me think, God, Jesus, how does this like 18-year-old know what they want to do for the rest of their life? Like, which is what they're expected to do. Like, you're meant to choose at 18 a uni degree, commit to it, so I'm really excited about learning about myself, learning how to better serve these individuals who come to mentoring with me, because at the minute I'm just speaking from experience, all of the stuff that I read, all the things that I've learned, personally, and all the documentaries I watch, all of that. But I want credibility. I want to actually step back from what I'm doing. I'll still teach my beauty courses, and I've got a new business that I'm launching later on this month. I'll tell you about in a minute. But I want to go away and study, and actually, if I want to influence people, I want to be an expert in that field, not just, I've got a bit of information.
How long is the course?
You what?
How long is the course?
It's 4 years.
Wow.
But mate, that's another thing. So I'm really like, oh mate, that's too long. I used to think, 4 years, that's well long. What have I achieved in the past 4 years? I'm going to be doing this course and living my life. This isn't going to be just my life for 4 years. I'm having a new baby. I've got my other businesses. I've got spare time. I use my time, wisely. I've still got freedom. And 4 years, that'll be by the time I worked it out. So I'd graduate the summer that I turn 30 as well. So I think, mate, I know people who are 40 who still don't know what they want to do. I know people who are 40 who have never even had a job. So to commit to 4 years out of, hopefully I'll live till I'm, gone 100. What is 4 years? Fuck all, innit?
It's so true, and that is the best mindset to be in. So you've got a busy mindset. You've got a busy 4 years coming up with the studying, babies, life. What next is going on? You said new business.
So the business that I've created. So Oh, I'm just looking. Someone's bashed their wing mirror. I can see the cars. I'm getting distracted. There's a car park. Someone's BMW's new wing mirror's bashed in. Oh dear. Anyway, so an accreditation business. So being a beauty trainer, I've realised how basically the beauty industry isn't regulated. So any Tom, Dick and Harry could go and get a qualification and the next week do a teacher training course, and then the week after that become a trainer. So within 3 months, you could literally become a trainer. I've been teaching people how to not even just do eyelashes, bloody microdermabrasion or whatever it's called. Things that could permanently damage someone's skin, like you are able to do. It makes no sense to me. So the standards need to be stricter. However, I can't just come in and go, right, the rules are changing, so what can I do to help? So obviously I've created brilliant courses at a high quality that I teach my girls as much as possible, but that's still not enough. So for me, to become a beauty trainer, you then have to get your insurance, beauty insurance, and then you have to get accreditation for your courses. So accreditation, for those who don't know, is basically a seal of approval from a company, a recognised body within the industry that says, yes, your courses meet a certain standard to go and teach. So most of the places that do accreditation, 3 bullet points in an email, that's all you need. So we just need your manuals, we just need this and your teaching certificate. Not what's included in the manuals, not all the health and safety and the regulations you have to adhere to, and patch testing and what might go wrong. Or if somebody, I've done a brow course, and when I first started, my brow course didn't mention anything about medication. So I went to wax somebody's eyebrows. It's my friend's sister, luckily. And she went, hold on, before you wax, I didn't do a consultation form because I didn't think I had to. Like, I was never taught it.
Yeah.
I'm on Roaccutane, which is the acne medication. And I know inside your head, Katie, you're probably thinking, she's about to say, don't do it. And I'm really sure, I don't think I'm meant to because my skin's really sensitive. Anyway, I decided not to wax, and I took a HD brow course, which was bloody brilliant. It's like 2 days, really intense, learnt loads. And I learned, if someone's on that medication, their skin is basically very, very thin. It's like paper, and it's really susceptible to cuts and abrasions. If I was to wax her eyebrows, I could have permanently damaged her skin. She could have taken me to court. She could have sued me. And I was never taught about any of that. And that trainer was able to take my money and however many other people's money. And I just think, how the hell is that allowed? So my accreditation, how I feel like I can improve the industry is we want to create a safe, positive beauty industry. It's a brilliant industry. However, I do feel like it can be quite saturated. There's a lot of poor quality things going on as well, poor quality training. There's a lot of legal cases that go on as well, where people have been permanently damaged, have had to take time off work because they've had allergic reactions because they haven't been given patch tests and consultation forms. So my accreditation process, the verification process, is really, really strict. So we even require people to have first aid training, which I feel like every training school should have. If someone wants to drop down on your floor or try, they choked and you don't know how to help them, I just think it's a responsible thing to do. Mm-hmm. So so accreditation business is something that I'm working on, which is going to be launched later on this month, and it's taken to link up with insurance providers. And that's another thing, mate. That's been a right ball ache. I went to link up with months back and forth with this well-known insurance company. I won't name names. And they work alongside an accreditation company, which is really popular. And so I've sent them through all of my prerequisites and everything that we require when doing an application. And they basically said for someone to learn eyelashes, they must go to college for 3 years and do a beauty course. So I said, well, hold on, how comes the other person who you work alongside, the other accreditation company, they don't require that? How comes it's one rule for one for the other? Worded it professionally. It's because we've worked for them for years, but that's how it is. Well, how the hell is the industry ever meant to get better, improve, and promote, good working practice when the insurance companies aren't pulling their weight and adapting. So I've had to overcome all of these things. Oh, mate, imagine that. You've worked for months to, I'm nearly there. And then they go, no, sorry, we can't work with you anymore. Oh, for fuck's sake, back to square one. So I finally managed to partner up with a really, really incredible insurance company, InSync Insurance. And so, yes, we're launching that. And we offer the level 3 teach training as well. So for people who do want to go into training, they can do it through us. So who we work with, we've partnered up with a company who are regulated by Ofcall, and it's all legitimate. And so yeah, we do that. What was the question? What am I going to do? What's the next? So launch that business and continue to do my exclusive one-on-one courses with reduced hours. And basically, mate, my long-term goal is to build a house in the forest. It's to have some animals. It's to spend lots of time with my kids. It's to be the next Brene Brown. And it's to know and to look in the mirror and go, I fucking love myself, because I am unapologetically me. And I know that I am doing good in this world. So
I love that. Round of applause, babes.
Thank you. Oh, I need a glass of water. My throat's a bit dry after all that talking.
I love that so much. It's been so nice to catch up with you, like, after this time, and to see where you're at, see where your headspace is, and you're just such an influence to so many people. So thank you.
Thank you, Katie. It's like I said, it's a pleasure to be on here, especially as I know how busy you are. But I love following your stuff as well and seeing where, I mean, it was only a few years ago I'd look at your page, and if you were to message me back, I'd be like, oh my God, Katie's messaged me back. Oh my God, look. And it's, now I'm here chatting to you, and we chat quite regularly. I think this industry is bloody brilliant, and it's podcasts like this where it's interviewing normal people and shining the light on business and uncovering all of the bloody filters and shit that you see on Instagram and talking truth. What does it take to run a business? What does it take to, be a successful business owner? Because if you've never run a business, I think you hear it, don't you? People start a business and go, God, I never thought it'd be like this. Mm-hmm. So it's good that they get this insight before going ahead.
Definitely. Well, thank you for giving up your time. I appreciate it. Good luck on the rest of your pregnancy and baby. I can't wait to see that first post to say that you've had him.
Oh, mate, do you know what? On my list to do later on is to order my birthing pool, because I'm going to do a home birth again. So
nice.
But yeah, it's very, very exciting.
When are you due?
May.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, nice time. Thank you very much, my love. I look forward to catching up again soon.
You are welcome. Take care.
Bye.
If you love this episode, please share and tag us on social media at KG Salon.
I always follow them.
If you're a salon owner and would like to join our membership program, coffee, cake, and chat, get in touch for a space. Be around a like-minded tribe. Have 400 pounds worth of mentoring a month. And push yourself to the next level.
I love being a part of such a great community.
Until next time, have an amazing, successful week.